it going, old man?
Just surviving the fireworks from last night, man.
You have a good 4th of July?
Yeah, I had a good 4th of July, actually. Yeah, I did.
What do you do?
We had family over, had some hamburgers, macaroni salad, the usual stuff.
Good.
You know, have some borscht, some Russian, some kebab, like the Muslims do. We eat with our hands. We ate with our hands like that. Did you see that fucking Mandabi guy eat with his hands?
Oh my God.
Is that disgusting or what?
You know, that guy, turns out he's a rich kid.
Yeah, of course he is. You know, all communists are rich guys. Didn't you know that? All commies are rich.
Yeah, his mother apparently is really has like this high position in Bollywood.
Yeah. That guy's a phony. He's a faker. He's a poser. He's what you want him to be. What accents I use today, you know?
Apparently he used to be a rapper.
Yeah, real rapper, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was real funny watching him, you know, bust some bars.
That's comedy, man. That's comedy. You know, you make it, I'll take it, 'cause I'm a socialist. You know, you invent it, I get it, 'cause I'm a socialist. There's so much there. It's comedy. He's a rapper. Yeah, mommy's a commie, I'm a dummy, love up, I'm a dummy money. Ooh, I'm a capit in capitalism, ism. That word. Where's Mel Brooks when you need him, man? Where's the Zucker brothers when you need them? There's so much there. Yeah, your mommy's a commie, love up, I'm a dummy money. I put the cap in capitalism, ism.
Yeah, watch. You're out of control, man. You're out of control.
Comedy skit ready to go, man. It's a musical. It's a comedy. It's a musical. Ready? You make it, I take it. Oh man.
Let's get a whiff of this, all right? I wanna see what this guy's got. I want to see if he's as good as a rapper as you say.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Assembly for 4 years, and before that, he was an aspiring rapper under the name Mr. Cardamom. Listen.
Oh my God! Look at that.
Once you do it, it's out there. It never comes back. It's there.
Didn't think it was going to be on CNN.
It's there, and there it is.
That's like starring in a porn movie if you're running for mayor. That's nuts, man. Huh?
Yeah. Hey, you know, Reagan was an actor. Donald Trump is an actor. You know, they're all got that second face. You know.
Oh, they're chameleons.
Yeah.
Remember when Kamala was in front of black people, it was hi y'all.
Yeah, hi y'all. Yeah, get down with my peoples and all that shit. Yeah.
You know how you soak my greens in the tub?
Arthur, I've been around politicians my whole life, and they all kiss the babies. Remember was kissing the babies? Let's go kiss the babies. You know, it's all an act. It's all, you got to do what you got to do. You know, give the people what they think they want. You know,
it's such a bizarre world.
They all take the picture with the family and the three kids and the dog, and it's all an act. You know, they have, they're at each other's throats, the husband and the wife, but yeah, they're smiling. Look at Bill and Hillary Clinton. You don't think that was an act? My God, they hated each other. but they sure used each other. Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to give people free shit. He wants to help people.
No, he wants to give people your free shit. That's what he wants.
That's what I'm saying. He wants to help people like this.
The Costco family of 6 that receives food stamps. Did you grab the keys out of the car? I'm gonna go look for trash cans because mine broke and I really want the side-by-side ones. So let's go.
Now I ask you this. Does this woman look like she's starving?
What is she on welfare? Food stamps?
Yeah, she's on, she's on government assistance.
Let's go see if they have them.
Or at least that's healthy.
Buddy.
Well, yeah, because they put all the restrictions on it. You can't buy shit anymore. You can't buy
Cookies.
liquor anymore.
Hi.
They got 4 kids.
Just 2.
And what example are those 4 kids learning? I saw my dad get up every morning and go to freaking work every day of my life.
So they didn't have the trash can.
Every day he got up and went to work, whether he liked it or not. And he came home with a busted body. What example are those kids learning from those parents? How to be on welfare? How to stay home all day long?
Look at her shopping cart. Look how full it is. That's got to be already like $300-$400.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you so much.
It's a family of 6.
Like an hour in and out of Costco, stuck to my list pretty well, and ended up spending $375. And then we have to go pick up a Walmart order for $65, $440 total. It wasn't enough that I spent $440, but Walmart decided to not give me some of my items. So I'm going to run into Target real quick and grab the rest of what I need.
Yeah, we're paying for that.
I don't mind assisting the elderly, the disabled, the needy, but fat slobs like that. Well, I don't know. I don't know what but people like that.
You think she's fat?
Well, she's kind of on the plump side, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would say.
When I had private insurance when I was sick.
Yeah.
And then I got so sick, I had to drop the private insurance. I went on disability, and the government paid for my surgery. Fantastic! I was on my back. I was dead. The government saved my life, and then I got back out of rehab, and I went back to work. Ta-da! And I'm retired.
Yeah, it's not meant to be on it for life.
Same thing. I had a life, trauma. I wound up paralyzed. Couldn't move, couldn't speak, couldn't walk, couldn't talk. Flat on my back. But look at me now. And I went back to work. Thank you very much, government, for helping me. You helped an American citizen. That's what you're there for. I appreciate it. But those guys and people like them, they would look at that guy picking up the bags of things like it was no problem and walking around, and look at them. There's nothing wrong with them. They're not talking. That's how I was talking. You remember? I couldn't even talk. I couldn't even read a book. I couldn't even pick up a pencil. That's how fucked up I was.
Wow. Yeah, you were pretty laid out. Well, you had brain surgery.
I had brain surgery with something that could have killed me. But I survived.
Why did you get that lobotomy? Was it absolutely necessary?
Right there, lobotomy, right there. Yeah. Hey, lobotomies help people. Some people.
Yeah, but they just put restrictions on it, which I think is great. I mean,
They tried this back in the 90s. Clinton, remember when Clinton, or were you were too young? When Clinton did the welfare reform, when he got his ass kicked in the midterms, and he turned conservative right away. Let's do welfare reform for my second term. And back then, he tried the same thing, work requirements. And you know what the mantra was back then from the Democrats? How dare you make a black person go to work? That's what they said. How dare you make black people go to work? Yeah, that was the thing.
Yeah, well, he had to smarten up real quick. Otherwise, he wasn't going to win that second term.
No.
You know, he figured it out. Get a load of this.
Welfare reform. He did crime prevention. Oh my God, what's this?
To have access to food? Do you not want them to have? You know what they're going to do? They're going to end up stealing. And there's going to be more prisoners. Oh, that's so smart. That's so smart. Yeah, you're stunting American growth. You're stunting
Not yours.
growth, and
Nobody's
my
having it.
generation's getting fucked because of you. And I'm sick and tired of it. People have like this.
Who would... I would rather be alone for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. Like, who would be with her? I mean, she's got to be what?
Have you seen the fat couples? They make perfect couples.
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, or you know, isn't it the worst when the guy gets with the woman and she's of normal weight, and then a couple of kids later, she looks like this?
Arthur, guys go with anything. You know that.
Who, you know, for their SNAP benefits, they use it, but they don't actually need it. And this, I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care if a few of them use the system. Everyone's going to use the system. Guess what? Trump is using the system so that his fellow rich people can have tax cuts. So why can't people have food? Why?
She's saying people can't have food.
Arthur, I've heard this argument my entire life, and I've never seen a Somali, emaciated, starving, with a big belly guy walking the street. Have you ever seen that?
Check this. No, I haven't actually, to be honest. But you come to America and it's the polar opposite.
Okay, so she's
Look,
living in poverty.
Oops.
But yeah,
that's just.
Look up the.
It's just insane.
Look up the album cover of the concert for Bangladesh.
It's time
Look
for
it up.
Lefties Losing It.
The album cover for what?
The concert for Bangladesh. Look it up. The album cover for the concert for Bangladesh. No, you're on Black Conservative.
Oh, okay. Let me.
Just delete it. Exit out. For Bangladesh. BANGL. Right. DESH. I think it is. Bangladesh. Yeah, right there.
All right.
Look at that cover. Look at that cover.
Yeah.
Look at the cover. Look at it. Look at that guy. Have you seen that guy walking the street? No. You never seen that motherfucker walking the streets. Look at him. It doesn't exist.
It's time for.
It doesn't exist. What exists?
Look, and that's what you got walking the streets. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the little black skinny. And look at that. Look at that one walking American streets. And they don't have access to food? Give me a break.
30 seats for $9.98. So we're gonna grab that. We're gonna put it on. So yeah, we already started shopping. So we got some.
This woman has 9 kids. Blow pops, little bites.
Well, she's supported by her children. We used to have them at the facility all the time. All the time they were there. Talking about, oh, my mama just had another baby and we're going to get more checks. They would say it openly, out loud. My mama had another baby, and we're going to get more checks. Okay.
They're going to lose their minds when they can't get honey buns anymore or, Doritos. They're going to go insane. If you cut these people off of sugar and salt, they're going to go crazy. But I'll tell you what, she will lose a lot of weight. As it is right now, as it was, because Trump changed it, these people are filling a shopping cart full of sugar and shit, and then they get sick, then they need to be hospitalized, and then we pick up that tab too.
You would think that with all the free time they have, they'd go to the gym.
Oh my God. If I didn't have to work 8 hours a day, I would train jujitsu.
You're making me joke.
And I would do a little bit of I do a little bit of weight training. I, take my dogs on more walks. I mean, my God, they're obviously really stationary if they're that heavy, if they're that large and in charge.
What do they do all day long? I don't know. I don't know. If you get a job, even part-time.
That woman said she loves to F word. There you go.
The department stores, the grocery stores, even here in Texas and California, the Vons used to hire the guys with the Down syndrome. Over here, they hire handicapped people to work at the grocery stores. Handicapped people with mentalities of a 5-year-old. They're working at a grocery store. They're handicapped. They're truly disabled. And they've got a job, and those
be careful.
Obese people can't work, even part-time.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with them. They're not mentally handicapped. They're not disabled. They're not like this, and they're in a wheelchair. Come on.
There's nothing more beautiful than seeing somebody with Down syndrome, work at the grocery store. I love it. They want to work.
Mm-hmm.
They're there to make a living. They're there to, yeah. I mean, they have a place to go. They're contributing to society. That's what I just love seeing that.
Do you remember how fucked up I was when I got the job at the school district as a custodian? I wasn't ready to go back to work physically. That job, I did physical therapy, mopping the floors and stretching.
Yeah, but you know what?
But I wasn't ready.
You know what I remember most about that time is that you wanted to go back to work. You wanted to go back to work. Mm-hmm. You wanted to have a place to go every day. And that's the difference.
I got tired of being dead. God didn't take me, the asshole. Son of a bitch. What the hell are you doing?
But it's funny, now that you're retired, you love it.
Oh, now at this stage, I don't want to go back to working. No way, I've done that. Yeah. I've had my fill. I've had my fill of working. And
so I've been noticing a lot of. God doesn't want you.
Well,
you're gonna. He's putting that off as long as he can. He's like, oh, this guy. Let's give him a few more years because I don't want to deal with him.
I don't want this.
You are going to be the biggest. You are going to be the biggest pain in the ass in heaven.
I'm going to.
You're going to be complaining
on that guy.
And he's going to be stuck. I want to send him to hell, but I can't. He's got me by the balls.
Okay, God. You violated Section 25 of the union contract. What are you going to say, myself?
Oh, man. A lot of people have been complaining. Oh, my God, yesterday on the 4th of July, living here in Southern California, it's different. I remember on the 4th of July, you used to see a lot of American flags.
Yeah.
And I went up and I put up my American flag. I put it up.
Yeah.
And it's an issue. I got to get the ladder. I got to get the 20-foot ladder. I got to go on the roof. I got to be really careful because I don't want to fall. And I got to have the drill with me. I got to get the clamps and get it on the vent stack. And I'm up there and I'm looking around and I realize I don't see one American flag. Am I the only guy doing this?
Right there. People don't know. People across the country do not know how much of a risk living in Southern California, living in California, people take by putting up the American flag. I had the same problem when I was living in Palmdale, and that's supposed to be a conservative district. And I thought, Jesus Christ, if I put up the American flag, will they come burn my house down? Will I get repercussions? You have to think about putting up the American flag in California. Here in Texas, they're all over the place. But in California, New York, Chicago, Illinois, Minnesota, you have to think about this shit. Colorado, you got to think about that stuff in a blue state. People don't realize that.
Yeah, there's no way on heaven and earth I could put up the Israeli flag. Can you imagine if you did that? They'd burn your house down.
California? Anyway.
Yeah, you would just be asking for it. But I was online and I just kept seeing you keep seeing these women and they're complaining, and these low testosterone men whining about America and how it's not America anymore. My God, it's a drag. I never thought I'd see this, and look at here. Look at these people. Look what they're doing.
This is not just a good gesture.
Did you see that fat Latino guy? He not only did he burn the flag, but he spit on it.
This is something we need to make real. We need to bring down this empire once and for all.
Man. Isn't that crazy?
Who gave them the constitutional right to burn the flag? The United States Supreme Court. And it wasn't a unanimous decision. It was a split decision. But the majority of the court said, you can burn down the freaking country. Isn't that a bitch? Isn't that rich? And
look at these guys.
That the court is an equal branch of government? When they tell me to burn my country down? You're insane.
This is BLM.
They should have passed a flag burning amendment 20 years ago. The minute that decision came down, they should have passed the flag burning amendment.
Look at this.
And I'm sick and tired of hearing Democrat, Republican, Libertarian tell me, oh, that's freedom of speech. That's the ultimate freedom of speech. The hell with you.
Look it.
Who are you?
Look, he's got a Palestine flag. I don't understand it, man. It's how could that's like burning the Bible.
I don't give a crap how much the Supreme Court tells me. The United States government is not obliged to participate in its own destruction. It can't. That's not its function. Its function is to continue. Its function is to instill American values. That's what any government, anywhere in the world, you have to instill that government's values, that nation's values in the people. You cannot destroy yourself. I don't give a crap how much the Supreme Court wants me to destroy the country. I don't care. I won't do it.
What gets me? What gets me is when you have a couple of young men doing donuts, burning out on a pride flag crosswalk.
Yeah.
And they get sent to jail for a hate crime.
Exactly. Yeah. Well,
So you can burn the American flag,
Yeah.
but you cannot desecrate the pride flag.
Look, man.
Wow.
The court has consistently told me that the United States government has no reason to exist, and it has no morality. So they're telling me the Constitution and the founding fathers that wrote the constitutions were immoral people. They have no morality. Let me tell you a case. It's called the Slants case. Came out of San Francisco. This Asian son of a bitch had a punk band called the Slants. He applied for a trademark for the United States Trademark Agency, and they denied it. No, we do not endorse this. It's a derogatory term for Asians, and we will not put our stamp of approval on it. They took it to the court, and the court said, no, you have no business. Yeah, the slants, the eyes. The
oh, man.
You have no business denying them the freedom of speech and blah, blah, blah. So they weren't denying him freedom of speech. He could call his band any name he wanted, but the United States government wouldn't give their seal of approval. You can call your name whatever you want, but we disapprove of it. You won't get our seal. So the government has a morality. It's got a moral issue to it. It does. We have to have morals, but the court always knocks it down, always debases us and puts us to the lowest denominator, always in the name of free speech. Bullshit. When is it going to say no?
Believe it or not, I'm not a constitutional absolutist. I don't think we should allow porn. I don't. I think flag burning and porn subverts our society.
Well, I agree with the new ruling of Texas, where the court ruled that Texas can have an age limit restriction on porn on the internet. I agree with it, because you and I, we didn't have access to pornography. We had to go looking for it until we turned 18. You as children, we never had that easy access to pornography. Did we? No, we didn't.
Before the internet, the average man maybe saw 3 naked women his whole life. If you had that buddy that was like Mr. Don Juan, like Larry from Three's Company, all right, maybe the guy's like, he's a stud. Maybe he's seen 7 naked women his whole life. Now, by the time a kid is 9 years old, he's seen tens of thousands of naked women. How does a child even know? How does a child go into having sex when they've grown up on porn? Like, they must have such a warped perspective of sex. Oh yeah, I know how to have sex. You turn the woman upside down and it's like,
Arthur, you get did you get that poll from the CNN?
Yeah. Let me put it up.
Yeah, that one.
Man, that chair is really loud.
Erica, my friend, happy 4th of July. And today on our Independence Day, I'm looking into whether or not Americans feel proud to be an American. And as it turns out, Democrats, their percentage who say they're proud to be an American has fallen through the floor. What are we talking about? Take a look here. Democrats' pride to be an American, extremely or very proud. In 2015, look at this. 4 out of 5 Democrats were extremely or very proud to be an American. That number has plummeted to just 36% now in 2025. A low this century has fallen by more than half since 2015 as Donald Trump has become, of course, president once again this year. Now, what is driving that decline? Well, a lot of it has to do with age. What are we talking about? Well, Generation Z Democrats, proud to be an American or not. Of course, Generation Z, born since 1997. Look at this. Only 24% of Generation Z Democrats are extremely or very proud to be an American. That is actually lower, Erica. That is lower than the percentage who say they have little or no pride to be an American at 32%. I just never thought I'd see these numbers based upon where we were a decade ago, but that's exactly where we are. Now, if Democrats have extremely less pride to be an American than they used to.
Okay, notice what he says. Generation Z.
All right.
Okay. What happened? Okay. You know Disney Star Wars? Remember Disney Star Wars? Unfortunately. Okay.
Yeah.
What was the theme of Disney Star Wars? What was the theme? And it was encapsulated in one scene. Maybe you can find it. The Kylo Ren scene where he says, "Kill your past." Kill your past.
Yeah, I mean,
and
that's the scene.
That is the main theme of Disney Star Wars of the communism, feminism bullshit that we've been subjected to for all these years, especially with the young. Kill your past. Kill that. Kill the American flag. That's your past. Kill it. Destroy it. And replace it with what? With pornography. Because how do you get the young people? Through sex. What was our mantra? Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. A young person is sexually burgeoning, curious about his own body, sexually curious from 12 to 25. What is Generation Z? The 12 to 25-year-olds, right? And how were they led astray? Oh, through transgender and through homosexual sex and through this sexual and you're a pansexual. Everything is sexual. Of course, it's titillating. What did you and I do at that age? We went looking for sex. It's an urge you cannot resist. And these idiots, these geniuses, figured it out. We get the change in the demographics and the young people, leading them through sexual activity. That's how we change them. And then when we get them through sex, we put, hate your country, replace your past. Don't listen to the old guys. No 18 to 25-year-old is going to see us because we're old. It's the natural thing of a teenager to get away from your old guys. But yet, they come home every day, and they can't wait to go see grandpa and grandma every weekend. And you can see them lounging around the outskirts, listening in on the old guy stories. They may not be seeing with it, or it's too embarrassing, but they want to know. They look at the old pictures and say, "Grandpa, is that you? Did you really do that? Is that you?" They want to know their roots, their past, their history. They want to know it. But these motherfuckers lured them away through sexual activity, whatever, and filled their head with their stories. Not ours. Kill your past. Star Wars killed canon. They killed Luke Skywalker. They killed Han Solo. They killed the books written by and they replaced it with what? The Acolyte? A teenager is led by his erection, not by his brain. And they know it. That's why it's always sexual stuff with fucking kids. Because they know their bodies react to it. They need it.
And plus they legalized weed. It's like they just want them dumb.
That whole legalized drugs, all it was a stupefying of the country. It was let's turn the nation into a Chinese heroin den, where the people just laid there and smoked, and you could steal their money, you could do whatever. They didn't put up a fight. Why legalize all drugs and make us into zombies? I don't agree with the legalized pot stuff. I don't agree with the dispensaries. I don't agree with it at all. Get rid of it. Banish it like it was before. Look at what you got now.
Yeah, that whole Star Wars thing, man. One moment, two chicks are kissing. The next moment, it's just so bad. Disney Star Wars is so bad. It's constant ideology being pushed down your throat. I barely remember that movie.
One of these days, these guys are going to wake up and realize and ask themselves, look themselves in the mirror. I'm 30 years old, and they're going to get a flashback. Did I really chase a Jew at Harvard University and try to beat him up? Did I really do that?
It's like the people. It's like the people from Germany after the war. Hey, we were lied to. We didn't know any better.
Yeah, I did. I worked at Auschwitz. Oh my God, what have we done? And
how could you have done that? Hey, we were lied to. That's what they're gonna say.
They were. These young people are true victims. They're true victims. They're not joking anymore. They are victims of the adults that whispered in their ear and told them to chop off their breasts, go kill a fucking Jew, and they believed it because they're children. They're victims.
Yeah.
They have been driven insane by evil people, disgusting, sadistic people. These people, professors and whatever, their parents, drove children crazy.
Yeah, they really did a number on their head.
And
they really just did a number on their head.
You and I grew up in the golden age of cults. I don't know what it was about white kids, and it was always white kids. I have no idea what it is about the white race to join a cult. But they did in droves. In droves. They joined cults back in the 60s and 70s. Jesus, it was insane. It was freaking insane. Oh. There was a guy named...
Go ahead.
There was a guy named Williams. I think his name was Williams. He was a black guy. Maybe you can look him up. He was a cult deprogrammer. He didn't know what the hell he was doing. He got arrested a lot until he finally stopped. But he would kidnap the kid, isolate him in a hotel room, and maybe he'll go back to his family. And he had such dismal results because they all went back with the cult at 18. But when they turned 30, they left. And the population of cults has diminished tremendously because people got older and they left the cults. And they left the cults. And I've seen interviews with them, and it's the same story time and time again. They feel stupid.
Well,
they feel ashamed. They feel embarrassed. How could I have done that? Wasted 20 years of my life. What was I thinking? And then they get angry. I missed 20 years of birthdays and deaths and anniversaries for this shit? And then they get, what am I going to do now?
Right. Kind of reminds me of Harvey Milk. He had that 14-year-old boyfriend.
Yeah. He was no saint. He didn't need to be on a fucking ship.
And they elected him. They elected him. Oh my God. I've been seeing, I went to Home Depot the other day and ICE was there. And you should see the people there. The people shopping go nuts. They get their cameras. What's your badge number?
Really?
You're kidnapping him.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's beautiful.
Yeah, the Home Depot on Slauson.
Yeah. Nice to go there.
They lose their minds. They lose their minds. Check this out.
Start moving back, please. Where are they going? They're being what's that? Where are they being detained? Get out! Get out! Property, bro. Everybody step back, please. Fuck that. Where the fuck are you taking them? Where are you taking them? Where are you guys taking them?
You want to find out, asshole? Go. Take a ride.
Get out of here! You're not American! Get out! Hey, where are you guys taking them? Where do we go? Where are we taking them? Where are you guys taking them? Where are you guys taking them? Watch out. Where are you guys taking them? Where are you guys taking them? What fucking facility, dumbass? What facility? What fucking detention center?
Big tough guys. Big tough guys fighting the cops. Why don't they fight the fucking gangsters like that? Hand to hand. They know who's destroying their communities. They know who's selling the drugs. They know where they live. Why don't they go do that with the gangsters? Face to face, hand to hand combat like that motherfucker. Hey, let's get it on. Muy macho. No, they don't. Fucking assholes.
Where are you taking them? To Disneyland.
Yeah. Why don't they go confront the guy that sold the drugs to your kid who got them hooked on drugs? Huh? No, they don't. They don't. You died of an OD. You sold fentanyl to my fucking kid, my brother. I'm going to fucking kill you. I'm going to blow you up. I'm going to do whatever. You know? No, they don't. They don't do that. The drive-by shootings and all that shit, they know who did it. But they know. No. Que no me digan. These politicians can end crime like that. They know where the criminals live. Go bust down their doors and take them to prison or do whatever you want with them. They know where you live. They know where they are. But they don't. They don't do that. They don't go near them.
I don't understand how these guys can even do their job with all the screaming, with all the threats. It's wild because I remember growing up in the 80s and this was commonplace. La Migra, and everybody would run and, nobody screamed, where are you taking them?
This is I've been telling you, this is a new breed.
This is it's immigration and they're illegal aliens and they're getting caught. It was commonplace. You saw it all the time. They made a movie, Born in East LA.
These are not American citizens like you think they are. They have no.
I don't think that they're American citizens. You know what they are? They are anchor. They are anchor babies, and that's the problem with allowing people just to come over here without any type of assimilation. Because they have no loyalty to this country.
We did away with assimilation. You've got MALDEF, the Mexican American Legal Defense Fund. You've got LULAC, the Latino blah 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 fund. You've got those guys to thank, the Chicano movement. You've got those guys to thank for dismantling assimilation as a legal concept and as a American concept. We got rid of it. Thank you very much.
Well, how can you expect that these people love the country when they're literally burning American flags? Let's check this out.
Guys, we get to move on. The next prompt is there is no ethical way to have mass deportation. Will the agreeers please step forward?
All right, let me ask you, is there an ethical way to have mass deportation? Let me ask you that. What do you think?
We've been doing it for over 100 years. We've had mass deportations for over 100 years.
Right. Obama had mass deportation.
Oh, this goes
Bush
way
had
back.
mass Yeah. Let's see what they say.
Forward.
Don't actually have, like I said, criminal records to support the claims of being deported to that country.
And what you're seeing right now is racism, right? People are being picked up because of the color of their skin or what they look like. And it's something that's been going on historically for many years, actually. And I think a lot of people fail to recognize that a lot of the brown people that are being picked up, a lot of from, Latin American countries are actually Native American to the Americas. And so it's just...
Why is it wrong to profile? It's common sense. If the person is brown and they're at Home Depot standing at the corner, I think it's pretty safe to say that they could be illegal aliens. I don't think that's racism.
Arthur, we used to get these lectures all the time, from time to time, in the department, implicit bias and racial profiling and your prejudice and subconscious prejudice, and the one question that they would never could answer is, when I have an inmate with an 1 here and an 8 over here across his entire face, what do I think of him? He's Santa Claus? Am I profiling? Or is he telling me what he is and proud of it? Because you would get these guys all the time with the teardrop, with the black hand, the Mexican Mafia, the EMF, El Monteflores, all the time, 18th Street. You would just by looking at them. But is that profiling?
But
like the Clint Eastwood movie,
listen to what
movie. The Dirty Harry movie.
Go ahead.
The director is asking Clint Eastwood, "You shot a naked, unarmed man. How could you?" And then Clint Eastwood says something like this: "Well, when he was running around chasing a girl with a raging heart on, telling her I want to have sex, I kind of figured it out."
Yeah. God, those are the best movies. Those Clint Eastwood, Dirty Harry movies. Yeah. You know what other movies I liked? What was that guy? Death Wish.
Oh,
what was his name with the mustache? Charles Bronson.
Charles Bronson.
Yeah, man, those movies were so dark. They were so dark.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hear what he has to say.
There's just been years of oppression ever since, settlers came to the Americas, which is North America, South America, Central America, Canada. And so it's just been oppression of Native people. And so I think it's important to recognize that, because they get labeled immigrants when really they're the original people of the land. And then, they have all these ties to the land, and that's why they get so much hate. And that's why they want to keep removing them, right? There's just been this ethnic cleansing for so long, and it's continuing till this day. And so that's why you see people that look like me being picked up all the time.
Mass deportation, I think, like you stated, there is a process that we can use to legally deport someone, right? Mm-hmm. But when you say mass deportation and you think about how vast America is, right, the United States, it does open room to just look at someone, assess under your opinion that you think that they're here as an illegal immigrant. And when you are just thinking about numbers and getting as many people out, you're not going through the process. You're not vetting through their criminal history, their background, how long they've been here, what familial ties, how they help their community. So that's really frightening.
I don't care if they've helped the community. They're illegal.
Let's ask those people one question. If a squatter goes into your apartment or your home or wherever you're staying, do you let him stay? He's cleaning up the place. He's doing my dishes.
Is he Native American?
To me, he's cooking my food, but he's squatting. He's taking a crap.
Is he Native American?
Would you kick a squatter out of your property?
Oh, these people would kick him out in 2 seconds.
He's watering my plants.
What are you doing in my room?
Exactly. Wearing my clothes.
He's like indigenous. Yeah, they wouldn't put up with that.
Arthur, you're
talking. Oh my
talking.
God, this is really stressing me out.
You're talking to the children of Howard Zinn and Noam Chomsky. You know those two fucking assholes? Howard Zinn and Noam Chomsky? These are your children and grandchildren. That's them.
Frightening to see. And there are a lot of cases that we're seeing where people are taking advantage of the situation and actually assaulting women and pretending to be ICE agents. And it causes a lot of distress and concern. You know, if you want to do things with the process, that's fine. But just playing it as a number game and grounding as much people and just shipping them off isn't really going to work.
Mass deportation is completely unethical.
So we have to play it. We have to play the numbers game. There's 20 million of them here.
Arthur,
there's no other option but to play the numbers game.
You go up to any of these guys, can I borrow your cell phone? And they'll all say no. Can I have your cell phone?
Let me tell you.
Play with their cell phone.
Let me tell you a story. My daughter used to work at a yogurt place. She used to sell yogurt. And they always had homeless people walking in. It was on the 3rd Street Promenade. And this homeless guy was in there. And he says to this girl that looked very much like these girls, he says, "I'm so hungry. Can you please buy me a yogurt?" To the customer that looked like this. And the girl looks at him and she says, "Oh, are you hungry?" "Yes, of course. Get whatever you want." Now, yogurt's expensive. It's sold by weight. So this homeless guy proceeds to get a cup and shovel 5 pounds worth of yogurt and toppings into his cup. He brings the yogurt to the register. My daughter rings it up and she says, "That'll be $42.72. And the girl who was helping the poor man, she panics and she says, "Oh my, it's so expensive. That's crazy. Oh my God, I don't have that kind of money." And my daughter's like, "Well, that's how much it costs. So he left with the yogurt. You better have the money." And she's like, "I can barely pay my rent. I'm barely making it. It's so expensive to live here. This is what capitalism does to society."
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And she proceeds to sob. But my daughter took the $42.
They wouldn't give you their car keys. "Can I borrow your car?" They wouldn't give you their car keys. Can I have keys to your apartment? They wouldn't do that.
Because if the girl knew that the yogurt was going to be $42, she would have told him to kick rocks.
Yeah.
She had a limit. She had a threshold, and it wasn't $42.
These are all immature people who live in childlike dreamland, and they're the children and the grandchildren of those freaking communist assholes, Howard Zinn and Noam Chomsky. That's what they created. They killed their past. They killed that and replaced it with Howard Zinn and Noam Chomsky. There you go.
Unethical, because when we think about what groups that we picture, when we think of the word mass deportation, it is predominantly people that come from Black and brown countries. Furthermore, it doesn't help the relationships that we have with.
What's this Rage Against the Machine look-alike talking about? Predominantly Black and brown countries. We've got people from all over the globe. You've got Chinese nationals. You've got people from
Vietnamese.
You got people from England. You got people from Ukraine. We have people from the Middle East. We've got the whole globe walk through our border during the Biden reign of terror.
We used to get from all over the freaking world in the facilities.
You used to get those. What were like Indians? Those
those freaking mutants. Oh my God!
What were they called?
Those indigenous people, Mayans. Mayans?
they were like
Mayans.
fucking. You got fucking Aztecs, bro.
Yeah, we got the real deal occasionally. Yeah, we couldn't understand.
Wow. Where'd they come from?
They're freaky looking. They're short. They look like Indians.
Yeah, they look like aliens.
Black hair. Yeah,
Yeah, like the straw hair, the wide face. They're like 3 feet tall.
But we used to get them from Sweden, Australia, Canada. One time, I was having a hard time with this guy, and he had this. He was from England.
Right.
A white British guy came here. What was he in for? Assault and battery, fighting with the cops, or whatever nonsense mayhem. And he was British.
From England, huh?
From England. He wanted to fight me. He wanted to rush me. And we're looking at the guy. If he rushes us, we gotta,
Did you look at him and go ahead?
Make my
day. Did you do it?
Yes,
I would have done that.
Yes, I did.
That's so awesome. You had the coolest job. I would have loved that job. That job, I could, thank God I never became a cop, because it would have went straight to my head. Internal affairs would have been up my rear so fast.
Get a load of this guy. He's Canadian, and he was in here for shooting a guy in the back. He waited for him to turn around, walk away, and he shot him in the back. He was a Canadian.
Oh, at your jail?
Yeah. And we're talking to him. Yeah, I shot him in the back. What the hell? Unrepentant Canadian coward. Couldn't shoot him in the face. Hey, wait. We had another Australian kid over there, in there for carjacking. I mean, stealing cars. This guy was a carjacker menace. He was from Australia. So we get them from all over the world.
Well, let's see what he has to say. Check it out.
And continues to destabilize our relationships with other countries as we continue to isolate ourselves with this type of mentality of we don't want others and we don't accept others, even though this country was literally founded on that principle of having communities come from all over the world and to build
ruin our relationship with other countries. How about this? We are so big and powerful that if we simply don't want to do business with you, your country will fail. How about that? I don't care what other countries think about us. You can't be here illegally, just like I can't be in your country illegally. If I overstay my visa, I'm going to get deported. And rightfully so.
You name me one tribe that didn't kill or kick out a neighboring tribe. You name me one tribe that didn't have sentry posts around the village looking for strangers. Come on.
Build a country
They're children.
Off of diversity because of its strength, not just culturally,
They're saying
but as well as
nonsense.
economically.
He's a record.
Disagreeers.
He's a poster. You could see all that shit on a poster. Diversity, equity, conclusion.
I definitely have something to say on this. The bottom line is 4 years ago, you were all silent when 20 million people entered our country illegally. We know that there has been over 400,000 criminal migrants put into our country. They just found a murdered little boy in my town that a illegal alien came here, created a soccer website, and was raping little boys, and he murdered one, and they just found his body.
Now, what could they possibly have to say about that?
Arthur, Noam Chomsky and Howard Zinn and Democracy Now. I used to listen to Democracy Now. I used to listen to Amy Goodwin every morning. The Pacifica Network. I used to be a subscriber to Mother Jones, the Nation magazine. I had subscriptions to the Nation magazine and Mother Jones. And when I was a Democrat, and look how long it took me luckily I was a conservative. I was a blue dog Reagan Democrat to begin with, but I used to listen to this shit. It's in their minds, and they would do Noam Chomsky and Howard Zinn documentaries all the time. Oh, America is the aggressor and the oppressor. America is evil, and then Oliver Stone would get on it. Don't count Oliver Stone out. He was a fucking asshole, that motherfucker, an American asshole. But he fought in
Jocelyn
Vietnam.
Nungary, 12 years old, little girl of color, raped brutally by Tende Diagra, dead.
Look at
Rachel
them
Morin,
and look at
dead.
the Manson
We
family.
have to put America
They're
first.
the same.
We warned all
The
of
same
you
look,
about
the same
this
language,
4
the
years
same
ago when
body
you said
language,
the border was
the
secure,
same
and then you
rhetoric.
ran on that you would secure the border.
Oppression.
Tom Homan and ICE is not going after people that are just normal.
Racism.
My husband is an immigrant. They are going after criminal aliens, period. If you're harboring a criminal alien, they will go after you. I know you guys must love your families. Are you willing to put your family's life at risk?
I've thought about this a lot because I keep hearing this statement that, these criminals that are coming in, they're harming our American citizens. I guess my question is, because I've thought about this, I really have. What if it were my cousin? What if it were my sister? I don't think it matters what their immigrancy status. I mean, honestly, we have Americans like natural born American citizens, natural born American citizens that create, they do crime, they hurt little children, they assault people. So what's the difference? I don't think someone's immigrancy status really.
They don't understand the simple fact that if X was not here, then X wouldn't have been able to commit that crime. What kind of a comeback is, hey, well, Americans murder people all the time, so it doesn't make a difference? How does that make sense? What kind of math is that?
They're not doing math. They're looking for the talking points that was told to them by the cult. What do I say in this situation? That's what they're doing. They're not thinking like you and I. They don't have logic. They've got indoctrination in their brain. What is the answer here? Not what is the logical thing to say, the emotional thing to say, the empathetic thing to say. No, what is the answer that I was told to say? That's all.
Is that what she's doing?
That's what she's doing. What would Howard Zinn say? What would Noam Chomsky say? What would my college professor, the communist college professor, say in this instance? Oppression.
One crime that shouldn't exist in the first place is too much. Don't you think that if the person wasn't here in the first place, which they legally shouldn't be, that crime is completely avoidable and countless lives are saved? A lot of young children don't get molested as well.
But the biggest hypotheticals. Let's talk about statistics, though.
Yeah,
statistically, citizens, United States born citizens commit much more crimes.
Statistically,
documented and non-documented crimes.
Statistically, that is wrong.
So if statistically United States citizens commit more crime, fuck it. Let the illegal aliens come and commit crime. Like, I don't understand
Look at
that.
how he's dressed, Arthur. Who's going to hire that guy as a professional? That's how a child dresses, and he's 25 years old.
Yeah.
Really? You're a 25-year-old grown man, and you're dressing like a fucking 16-year-old? And you want me to take you seriously? What comes out of your mouth? No, Arthur. They're immature people who don't understand the world, who don't want to understand. You are talking to Peter Pan. You are talking directly to Peter Pan. How can you get there? You got an adult conversation with that.
Well, no, they're living in a fantasy world.
Because they don't listen to old guys like us anymore. If we had naked people here, we were in the nude, heaven forbid, we'd get the 18 to talk about sexual positions and this and that. We would get the 18 to 25-year-old 10 million views in a heartbeat. If I had porn over there, whatever porn, even boy love porn, Oh, how accepting. Love is love. Look at that. It's so nice. Blah, blah, blah. We get all the fucking freaks, 12-year-old to fucking 25-year-olds by the millions. This Generation Z alpha bullshit. But they don't want to listen to old fucks like us.
Well, you know who's done a valuable service is Charlie Kirk. He's gotten a lot of young people to wear that red hat, and thank God. Because I was pretty.
It's going to take a long time for them to process all that shit out of their head and say, did I really assault a Jewish person? Because it's not just a Jewish person, it's a perfect stranger. You intimidated a perfect stranger that you don't even know. You chased him to hurt him. Take the Jewishness out of it. You interjected yourself violently into the reality of a perfect stranger on purpose. Why? Why did you do that? Violently. You had no. You had. What are you?
The reason why is because of the consequences that if they get caught, even with a speeding ticket, the consequences if you're undocumented or documented are dire.
Every single illegal immigrant.
I know, Tom. No one's disputing it.
Every single illegal.
The guy that killed Rachel Morin had been pulled over riding a moped with no license and no insurance. These people get caught drunk driving. What he's saying is completely false. It's completely false.
Illegal immigrant has violated U.S. Code 81325, which is a crime in the United States. So to say that every single, or that Americans commit more crimes than illegals, every single illegal has committed a crime. Not every American has committed a crime.
But still, a lot of these people that have been sent over to El Salvador's prisons, we have records that have shown that majority of them are not actually committing these criminal evictions. And the other thing is
well, you know, it doesn't matter. They got caught and now they have to be deported. And since they have to be deported, they need to be placed in a facility.
Arthur, just wait till they get a roommate from hell. Just wait till they get that roommate from hell and they want them gone. They can't evict them. Just wait. But they, you know, because they haven't lived with a roommate from hell. They haven't paid taxes. They haven't bought a house. Just wait till they buy a house and there's a squatter inside and you can't get them out.
Yeah. All right, man.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you go. I'll see you. I'll talk to you soon. Kill and pass.
Yeah.
All right.
Do it.
I think I can do that. I think I can. I can do that. Not a problem.
Pansexual.
Oh my God. I would not be a pretty woman. Can you imagine me with that long hair and those? I'd probably get Botox for my lips.
Yeah.
I'd be a modern woman though. I'd keep the hair under my armpits and the hair on my legs. I wouldn't get rid of that.
Yeah.
I would probably look like Bruce Jenner.
Oh, that freak. When I saw him live on the Olympics in 1970, whatever it was.
Oh man, Mr. Wheaties himself.
He won everything.
All right, buddy.
All right.
See.